the timer.
Thank you very much, everyone, for joining this 38th meeting of Personal Growth Leaders Advanced Online Club. Today's theme is World Food Day 2021, which was instituted by United Nations in 1981. As we all know, food is something that is the most important part of our lives because we cannot exist without food. And there is a very wonderful saying which says that we are what we eat. And that's really an important aspect of the whole existence that we have. If we are eating healthy food, then we will be healthy. If we are eating unhealthy food, then obviously we will have a lot of health issues. Along with food, another important part is giving the body the exercise that it needs. So that's also an extremely important thing. The second point that I wanted to mention about was in terms of eating is not just with mouth. This is an interesting concept. Whatever we intake through our different senses, that also is eating in a way. For example, we are looking at something. Through eyes, we are consuming inside our mind. We are hearing something. Through ears, we are consuming. We are touching something. Through the sense of touch, we are consuming again. We are tasting something. Through the sense of taste, we are consuming again. And this is very important. What are we feeding ourselves? Not only in terms of the food, but also in terms of what we are looking at, what we are hearing, what we are tasting, and what we are thinking. So finally, that is the subtle aspect of the whole thing. What are the thoughts that we are entertaining? Which thoughts we are giving red carpet welcome to? That also is a very important aspect of our consumption. So let's look at a holistic perspective, and let's always try and absorb everything that is auspicious for us, everything that will bring us forward in a positive direction, which will give us a vibration that is happy vibration, that is peaceful vibration, that is a vibration that spreads love everywhere. So with that, I would like to start this meeting, and we will go through the meeting as we do always. It's the pie structure, personal. So we will do the speeches, prepared speeches first, then impromptu speeches, and then evaluations section. We have got two wonderful speakers today in terms of our meeting. We have the speaker one, Fatima, and speaker two, John. And we have two evaluators. We have the evaluator for Fatima's speech, who will be Kaushal, and the evaluator for John's speech will be Kathy. So now I would like to request Kaushal to please help us with the objectives of Fatima's speech. Thank you very much, Kaushal.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters. I'm bringing up the evaluation form. The purpose of this speech, and I hope I'm using the right form. If I'm not, please correct me. The purpose of this project is for the member to apply the skills needed to successfully lead in a volunteer organization. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of her experience serving as a leader in a volunteer organization.
Thank you very much, Kaushal. Before I ask Fatima to begin her speech, I have forgotten one aspect, which is introducing the grammarian for giving us the word of the day. So can I please request Rosie, who is doing double role today as grammarian in GE, to please give us the word of the day. Thank you very much, Rosie.
Thank you.
Toastmaster DTM so much, Kumar. So the word of the day today is sense, which is a faculty by which the body perceives an external stimulus. One of the faculty of sight, smell, hearing, taste, and touch. Example would be the bear has a keen sense of smell, which enables it to hunt at dusk. Thank you. So I will appreciate that everyone will use this word of the day sense. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Rosie. We'll go back to the speech, the first speech, which is from Strategic Relationship, Level 5, first, leading in your voluntary organization. And the title of the speech is Chancellor. Chancellor Fatima Afia.
And with 5 to 7 minutes? Is it 5 to 7 minutes?
Yes, 5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah, correct.
Thank you.
Sometime back, years ago, I was the chancellor of a university. As a chancellor, you take care of the students and teachers. In this university, we had 30 students who needed special care. Now, raise your hand before I proceed any further. I would like your engagement. Can you raise your hands if any of you have filled the position, any officer in your club? Any, yeah, I see almost all of you have filled a role. Now raise your hands if you have filled the position of VPE, Vice President of Education. I see one only, or two, thank you. Now this is how I describe myself to new members. The only way I can make them understand. I'm the chancellor of my local club, MIM Toastmasters Club in Johor Bahru in Malaysia. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the most crucial and most important role in any club. And I'm going to explain the reasons why. I was the VPE in term 2020-2021. When I was elected in May, John was the president. The husband and wife couple, we are well known across. We decided to do a questionnaire. And as the mentor who plays that key role, I did a questionnaire for the existing members and for the new members. We had 14 members that joined our club during that time I was serving. And the existing members, we needed to find out what was the problem they had. I'm sure all of you here on the screen, you have had mentors assigned to you, but do you mentors or your system check whether you have been provided the right kind of mentoring? That's the question we should ask always. And we were glad we did it. Even those who had been in Toastmasters for 5 years, they said we needed help. Members, they joined Toastmasters for 2 reasons. One is they want to improve public speaking. And there are members who come for other purpose, networking or just hang out. But my realization and my assessment is even these 2 group of people who join Toastmasters, as the chancellor of the club, you need to provide support in the way of mentoring. Now, when I became the chancellor of my club, I put up certain strategies. Number 1, I told my exco, because John was there, let's divide these 30 members among the 7 exco members, and we take 4:5 ratio and try to build relationship. Of course, only 2 excos, as you know, all of you, those who have served your club, you would know that only 2 or 3 club officers will be committed to serve the club in the way we should be, leading the way you need to support members. And that fell on my shoulders to communicate and build that relationship. And as Anvita is doing this club, the chancellor of the club is the person who will have that form that close relationship with the members. If a member has a problem, if they cannot make a meeting or they want a speech, they will come? They will go to the VPE. And you will find at the end of the term, that mentor or VP is the most important person that you will have relationship that will continue forever. Another important thing is if you want to retain membership, mentoring is important. And VP plays that role. I did a 360 evaluation form and I got very good feedback. I was good contributor, team player, supportive, and always there for members. However, always the case, we need to ask questions. And I got some, they said, I need to change. One was that I should have more consultations, more discussions, and I should move away from problems and look at beyond how to find solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, we as Advanced Toastmasters Club, we have been traveling, zooming across, and here we are today with a number of people here. And we have so many network connections here, and mentoring is something still that we need to look at. And this is why in this 2102, I am putting a mentoring system. And I will leave it this quote from Oprah Winfrey. She says that mentor is somebody who allows you to see hope in yourself. And being the chancellor, I'm so glad that I was able to serve. And ladies and gentlemen, I know all of you have mentors, but please ask the questions from your members and see where we can make things right. We always think we are unique, we are right, but there are always room for improvement. And how we can do is asking members these questions: what can I improve in myself? Reflect on your personality, on your behavior, and build that connection with members. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fatima, for the speech on Chancellor, which is related to the VP education role that you have done in the club, and also about the mentorship that you mentioned. It was really great. Thank you very much for that speech. And we go to the second speech of this meeting, which would be given by John. And the evaluator of the speech is Kathy. I would like to invite Kathy to give us the objectives of John's speech. Thank you very much, Kathy.
Thank you. John's speech today is from, I believe it is Motivational Strategies. I'm sorry, I'm trying to bring up my screen. Motivational Strategies. The purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. The purpose of this speech is for the member to present a speech and receive that feedback from the evaluator. I believe this is John's first speech in this project, and the title of it is Fit or Fat. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kathy, for giving us the objectives of John's speech. With a speech entitled Fit or Fat, please welcome John Khalid Brigden.
Fit or fat? Can you put your hands up if you think you're fit? Yes, we've got a number of hands up. Yeah, yeah, a number of hands up. Can you put your hand up if you think you're fat? And we've got a number of hands up again. Okay. Did you notice when I said think? Think. And that's the one thing wrong with a lot of people. They think they are something that they are not. Okay. Is this social media that's doing it? No, it's society. Society has given us the average man. And you know when that started? In the 1830s by a guy called Adolf Quintlet. He was a mathematician and he developed the idea of the average human. And he was the one that came up with BMI, body mass index. So 200 years, just under 200 years, we have had an average man. And when people don't conform to an average man, they think there's something wrong with them. BMI, I hate it. At the moment, I'm 170 and I'm 73 kilos. And according to BMI, I'm 25.3. Now with BMI, body mass index, if you're between 19 and 24.99, you're actually average. If you're over 25 and upwards, you become overweight. When you get to 30, you're obese. If you get to 35, you're going to be level 2 obese and then level 3 obese as you get higher. And of course, if you go lower, you become as somebody with weight problems. So this was made up by this Adolf Quintlet in 1830. And we've been using it, humans, for the last 170 to 200 years. Was it about time we changed it? I've got a friend. He's 5 foot, well, he's about 5'5". He weighs 15 stone. He hasn't got an ounce of fat on him. He's in the gym 3 hours a day, 7 days a week, and he has to go sideways when he goes through a door. Yeah. Now, is he obese? According to BMI use, but as I said, he hasn't got an ounce of fat on him. It's all muscle. But it's people's perceptions that are the problems. I went out with a friend of mine and his wife was with us, and we walked into a shop. She was going to buy something, and she went to a mirror and she said, "This mirror makes me fat, makes me look fat." And I said, "Well, I must have the same problem with my eyes then." But when I said it, I thought, oh, I shouldn't have said that. But it's her perception. She didn't look actually fat. I was playing her up. As I said, it's people's perception of what they are. When I get up in the morning, I go to the mirror. When I go to shave or clean my teeth. And sometimes I look in the mirror and go, whoa, you know what I mean? You're looking good today. And sometimes I get up in the morning, I go to the mirror and I go, are you ugly? All right. And that's my mood for the day. I will feel fat. I will feel wrong. I will feel, yeah. If I look in that mirror and say, right, yeah, you're looking good today, boy. I'm going to have that all day. I'm going to feel good about myself. Fit or fat? I used to do martial arts. And there's a guy who lives in Wales, he's halfway up Mount Snowdon, okay? The Snowdonia. And he's around 16 stone. Now, I've sparred with him, okay? He's faster, he's fitter than me. I was at the time around 10.5 stone, which was my fighting weight in them days. He was around 15.5 to 16 stone. So he was robust. I call him robust. But he was fit, very fit. Okay. And it's supposed to be, was supposed to be faster than him. So you cannot tell if you're fit or you're fat. If you feel good about yourself, that's the key. Feel good about yourself. Get up in the morning and say to yourself, look in that mirror, I'm feeling good today. Powerful emotions. And don't worry about what other people think. I've seen more happy people that are overweight than I've seen people that are underweight, or as we say, people say are normal. They're happier about their life, about their body, about everything. So don't take anything to heart if somebody says you're fat. People sometimes have said, I'm fat. Great, lovely. Okay. And in some parts of the world, if somebody's fat, they don't call them fat, they just want to find out where the foods come from. Okay. So I say to you now, I'm quite, I say fit and I'm fat, okay, because I walk every day. I do my biking every other day. And I keep checking my diet. However you feel, I say to you, do not worry about what other people think. It's what you think in your mind, which is important. Back to you, Suresh.
Thank you very much, John. It was a really motivational speech. Thank you so much. That reminded me of a quote from Dr. Seuss. Don't mind what people are saying, because those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter. Do what you do and say what you want to say. That's the starting of that, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. So if a person is really with you, they will not mind what you say or do, because they love you irrespective of what you say or do. It's quite an interesting one. Thank you so much for that, John. And it gives us a sense of motivation and happiness when we listen to these kind of speeches. We've gone through the first phase of our meeting now. 2 prepared speeches are done. So we go to the second phase of the meeting, which will be led by the newest DTM in the club, Ahmed Shukri. Let's give a big round of applause to Ahmed for his DTM achievement. Over to you, DTM Ahmed, for the table topic session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, Toastmaster of the Day, DTM Somesh Kumar. Fellow Toastmasters, good afternoon, and it gives me great pleasure to give you this table topic session in line with the theme for today's meeting. Now, for those who doesn't know, I'm quite a big foodie. I like to eat. Food is a gift for mankind, and the more you have food, the better it is. But too much food, and you have John chasing you to be fat or thin. But I made a list of the top 4 dishes that I'll be looking for if I'm stuck in a foreign country and I can't have the adventurous spirit of trying the local food. So please don't judge me if the food will sound too franchisey for you, because this is the list of food I would look for if I'm stuck on a trip and I want to eat something a little bit less adventurous. So let me first, I have total of 4 types of dishes. Let me start my first dish, and I'll choose our VP Education, Professor Anvita. Are you ready?
Yes.
Now I'll show you the dish, and I need you to describe it, or describe the last time you had this food and why do you loved it or hated it. So the first dish is the mighty hamburger, one of the most famous types of food worldwide. So Toastmaster and Rita, the stage is yours.
The French fries behind that burger is catching my attention because French fries is one of my most favorite dish. Good day, Toastmasters, and to our table topic master. The first time I had the French fries as well as the burger was when I was in first grade. I had gone to my cousin's wedding and they were giving rice and sambar over there. It is one of the dish which I hate the most. Throughout the function, I didn't even touch anything. By the end of the evening, I was hungry as well as angry because of the hunger. I was just so irritated that when one of my younger cousin came to me for a pic, I just took his mobile and threw it down. By this action, everybody realized that I was hangry. They didn't know what to do. I was just refusing to touch the rice and sambar. Finally, they dragged me to a Pizza Hut nearby. They first ordered a pizza, but the guy told that pizza will take almost 30 minutes for them to prepare and arrive. So I finally chose the burger and the French fries. They brought it in 15 minutes and I just devoured it to the last morsel. It was so yummy. Thus began my love story with the pizza and French fries. Then in the night, when I went home, I realized a kid in the neighborhood crying extremely loudly. I asked my parents, what's the problem? Why is the kid crying so loudly? Then my parents explained to me that it was the kid of a local construction laborer. They are through hard times because construction was halted at that point of time due to some construction. And the kid was going without even a single glass of milk. The kid was crying because of hunger. At that moment, I just realized my own mistake. Here I was demanding that I wanted something fancy like fries and burger, where there are millions of people around the world suffering from hunger without food. In fact, I even remember seeing a picture of a vulture next to a starving boy, just waiting for him to die so that it can eat him. Hunger is that serious. After that, I made a mental note to myself never to demand food. Now I can eat anything. Give me rice or sambar, french fries, burger, or even stale food. I can eat everything because I know what hunger is. So Toastmasters help a person who is in hunger because that is the biggest pain of life. Back to the TTM.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster and Rita. What a nice contribution to the first item on our menu. Now, our second item on our menu, if Toastmaster Sabriya can take part, can get confirmation from her verbally. If not, yes, I can. Yes, she's there. Unmute, please. And give us your, check your voice, check your mic. Unmute. But you're still,
yes, hello. Yeah, I'm here.
Excellent. You are now audible now. This is your food item. Be ready for it.
Okay.
Italy's gift to the world. The famous pizza, whether it was deep dish, whether it was New York style, Napolita style, whatever is your choice. So tell us about your favorite pizza and what was the last time you had it and what was your feeling when you had your pizza?
Pizza, pizza, pizza. Italiano, but I am someone who take care of the fat that's coming into me. So pizza is one of the rare food that I'll try and avoid. But I do take pizza. I mean, I'm not 100%, going into fitness and avoid everything food. So the only pizza that I take would be vegetarian pizza because I don't take meat. I don't take meat, I don't take chicken and things like that. So it can look boring, right? But when I go to any pizza outlet, the Pizza Hut, Domino's, whatever we have here in Malaysia, is always vegetarian. If they serve salad, I would love that place a lot. But nowadays, you can't find salad on the bar in Malaysia because Malaysian, they don't really eat greens and salads. But I will order I will insist on a bowl of salad, and I'll still have pizza as my side food, not as a main food. But then I love cheese a lot. So I'll still go for lasagna, not pizza, but with vegetarian sauce. And it's so boring, isn't it? People are so boring. So I do add something, I don't know whether it's vice. I put seafood lasagna. So I think that is my way of keeping fit, John, and not fat. Thank you. Back to you, table topic master.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sabriya, for sharing with us your thoughts of pizza. Now, let me circle back to our Toastmaster of the day, DTM Somesh, and the next dish is going to you. Are you ready? Here we go. The next dish is another gift of Italy to the world. Sorry, guys, Italy is giving us a lot of fast food ideas, a lot of gifts to the world. From the pizza, we go to pasta. All types of pasta. What was your last experience, your last dish of pasta or macaroni or whatever you want to call it? And how was your experience, and did you love it or not? Stage is yours.
Thank you very much, DTM Ahmed. Wow, it looks so yummy. Yes. One of the interesting things is I was not knowing about these kind of Italian foods when I was in India, like the pasta and even pizza. That was nearly 20 plus years back. I think it was not so ubiquitous, especially in our part of the world. Now, all these things have become really available everywhere. The world has become a global village now. It gives a sense of saliva coming from the tongue when we look at this. Yes, so when I first had this, what we missed is in terms of the spices. I think this is what, especially in the subcontinent, the Indian subcontinent as it is called, the food is based on spices basically. And when there's spice, you really get a lot of taste in it. What I noticed after coming here in Ireland was the food, unfortunately, was bland. And I guess many people who are coming from the Eastern background to the West would vouch to this fact that that is what happens. So what we do is we put in, when we are making it, we would put in good bit of spices and everything else, spice it up, and then have it, and then it tastes better. If you're taking it just in the normal way, it sometimes is a little bit bland. But otherwise, I think it's amazing that Italy is offering so much to the world in terms of the variety in food. They're really the leaders there. And with this global village that is coming in, every type of food is going to every part of the world. Like I heard that this chicken curry or something is one of the very famous dish in United Kingdom, Great Britain. Lots of people like it, it seems. So it is originally, the curry is originally coming from India, but it has come to UK now. So the whole world is a global village. And of course, food is what is connecting everyone, each and every one of us with each other. So thank you very much, Ahmed, for this topic.
Thank you very much, DTM Somesh. My last dish, my last question has to do a lot with the states. So this question goes to Toastmaster Kathy, and I'm sure she would give us a nice contribution to our next dish on the item. Our next dish is, of course, the famous fried chicken. Like it, love it, or hate it, you'll always find it in front of your face. Toastmaster Kathy, your experience with the famous fried chicken.
I apologize that I'm laughing, but I love the fact that you picked the one thing that I have not eaten in over 20 years. I absolutely love fried chicken. I'm actually from the southern part of the United States, which is like the home of fried chicken. But when I started my weight loss journey 22 years ago, this is one of the things that I eliminated from my diet. The only reason why is because it's the one food that crispy, crunchy coating on there is so delicious, but it is so high in calories that when I'm tracking my food, I just don't want to have to write that down. I love it, but it's one of those things that I just don't eat anymore. But you could just sense how delicious this would be with that crispy coating on there that's fried to deliciousness. People actually think I'm lying or that I'm crazy because I haven't had any in the last 22 years. But it's not that I don't love it, it's just that I'm trying to stay fit rather than fat on my journey. So that's why I was laughing so hard when you brought this picture up, because all those other things I've had, this particular thing, although very delicious, I haven't had in a great many years. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You are a strong woman, Just Mr. Kathy, for resisting the temptation that is fried chicken. I end my session with a temptation that I always fight myself not to buy each week when I get the groceries. This is, for Toastmasters, my bane to my existence. This is my kryptonite. Whenever I try my best to stay fit and remove all the fat from my diet, the ice cream sundae comes along and tells me, come, taste me, taste my flavor goodness. So even if you're fit, if you try your best to remain fit, the ice cream sundae will get you. It will hunt you and will get you down and make you fat. Fellow Toastmasters, whether you're enjoying a burger, a pizza, a pasta, or a dish of fried chicken, or just an ice cream sundae, be aware that we are one of the lucky ones that we can enjoy food. There are other people in the world, precisely 200 million individuals in the world that go to bed hungry. So please enjoy your food, but enjoy it wisely and try your best not to waste food and always consume it wisely. That's the end of my session. Back to you, PM Modi.
What an interesting way to conduct the table topics with all those delicious dishes on the World Food Day. And what a great way to end the table topics by giving an important message about not wasting the food, understanding that there is so much hunger out there, unfortunately, across different parts of the world. Thank you so much, Ahmed, for leading the table topic session. Now we go to the third phase of our meeting, which is the evaluation section. And to lead the evaluation sections, I would like to invite Ruziana to the virtual stage. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sabaya, are you okay? I proceed?
No, cannot. I don't watch from the beginning.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. So I would like to call upon the first evaluator for tonight, which is the distinguished Toastmaster Kauzo. Over to you, Kauzo. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator and fellow Toastmasters. It's a pleasure to evaluate Fatima's speech. One thing I really noticed about your speaking style, Fatima, is you probably have the best eye contact of anyone I've seen. During these Zoom Toastmasters meetings, it's difficult to have eye contact with the audience because you might be looking at the faces on your screen instead of the camera, but you really keep your eyes on the camera throughout your speech. And that is very good. I also was able to sense that you used your hand gestures, even though you were sitting down. I sometimes could see them. So if you were able to stand up during a speech, you could see them even better, but I could still sense that you were using hand gestures to enhance your speech. What I like best about your speech is how you compared the role of the VPE to a university chancellor. You did such a good job of that. And it really made me see the VPE role in a different way. You're so right that the VPE is responsible for taking care of all the members' needs. Some members might be there for learning and some might be there just to have a good time, but you've got to take care of all those needs, whatever they are. And the chief way to do that is through mentorship. And as you mentioned, the VPE is so important for member retention, just as the chancellor of a university would be important to retain students. Some things that I think could enhance your speech would be giving more specific examples of derived from your experience as a VPE. Maybe you could talk about certain people that you helped in your club, how you helped them. You could even refer to them by name, saying, I so-and-so had this problem that I was able to help with. This other person had this problem and I helped them in a different way. So maybe more specific examples so that we could really feel that same experience that you had as VP of the club. Also, you ended a quote from Oprah Winfrey, but then you continue talking a little bit more about the VPE role and its importance. I think maybe try to end the speech with just a quote and say nothing beyond it. That would be a more powerful, succinct ending. But thank you for giving the speech, Fatima, and helping us see the VPE role in a new way that I think will make us better leaders in Toastmasters. Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Kojal. Yes, I agree with you on the eye contact. Yeah, Fatima, you have that really great eye contact there, and you bring about the VPE and Vice Chancellor role, which we can compare, and then we think about that. That's very true. I agree with you, and yeah, there's a point of improvement, which is on the raise an example of the problem and how to solve them. Thank you so much. Now we're going to the second evaluator, which is Kathy. Over to you, Kathy.
Hello, let me bring up my screen just a sec. I mean, my screen so I can see what I typed. John, I really enjoyed your speech. As a personal trainer, trying to teach people about the flaws in BMI is an interesting task because we get bombarded by that, especially, I don't know about where you live, but our doctors go by BMI and not necessarily. Sometimes just looking at somebody, you can actually tell how much muscle mass they have and that they don't have any fat, but the doctors have a tendency to use this BMI so much. I really enjoyed your speech. I like that you talked a lot about mindset, especially what you think when you look in the mirror. And you even gave us great examples of that. One day you woke up and you were like talking about how handsome you were, and the next day you felt a little differently. As far as the basics of the speech, you did really good on things like clarity, your eye, eye contact, your gestures. I love the fact that you were demonstrating muscles. You were talking about the girth of one of your friends and things like that. You really got those gestures, and even though you're seated, I could, your audience could still see those gestures. So that was excellent. I like that you talked not only about the BMI, but things like the mindset, and which I enjoyed the content of your speech. It's kind of near and dear to my heart, like I said, as a trainer. I like that you started out with some engagement with the audience, which is always good and helps out, especially in this Zoom environment, get people involved. Both you and Fatima both have done that. A couple of things to work on. You and I had discussed some things you wanted to work on. I don't know if you were looking at notes or looking at the Zoom audience, but you had a tendency, to me, it looked like it was your right side. I know sometimes the camera can be flipped. You kept looking to one side a couple of times, and I don't know whether that was what we had talked about or whether maybe you were looking at notes. So it's so easy in Zoom that just the slightest glance has a tendency to look a little bit more expanded due to our little smaller things. So you might keep working on that. You're getting better, but just keep working on that. The other thing that you may not have been aware of, I don't know what kind of chair you're sitting in, but you were doing this a lot, especially, I don't know if it's nerves. At the beginning of the speech, you were rocking back and forth. So I don't know if you're in a chair that makes it really easy to rock. A lot of times we get these desk chairs where it's easy to turn like this and rock back and forth. So you might be aware of that. So all around, just a couple of things to work on there. And those are kind of, to me, nitpicky, just little, because we are an advanced group, kind of to expand on that and go from good to great, because you are already awesome. But just a couple of things to work on, excellent content, but just a few things to work on, and keep doing what you're doing. I look forward to your next speech. Take care.
Thank you, Kathy. What a great, yeah, they say evaluation is about performance, and you did really well with all your gesture, all those things. So that's really good. You have all the gesture along with you in giving the evaluation and a very clear evaluation. All right, now let's move on to our next segment, which is the role player for today. So I would like to call upon, the first one is grammarian, which is me. Okay. So the word of the day is sense. So I'm sorry, I forgot that I have to look for the words of the day. I think Somesh said it once. And then I'm sorry if I miss anyone. And I like the phrases today, like fit or fat. All right. And then most important, okay, Fatima, I like what you said on your last sentence, which is what can improve on myself. All right. And then another word is robust. Feel good about myself, from John, and perception. And think something they are not. All right. And then I like what Anvita said about angry and hungry. So that's jive, rhyme. And then another word is that from Kathy, I'm trying to stay fit rather than fat. And another word is that this many years. I like that one. I guess that's all from me. Thank you. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator. Okay, thank you, grammarian. So let's now move on to our R counter, which is Toastmaster Satya. Over to you, Satya.
Thank you, G. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, dear Toastmasters. Regrettably, today, I didn't find any crutch words spoken by any one of you, as we keep repeating week after week. Since we are seniors or leaders in communication, we don't use crutch words or repetitions. However, one repetition which I noticed was from the speaker, John Khalid. He repeated the word okay 4 times. Barring that, all other speakers were flawless, excellent speeches, as well as the conversation that I heard this evening. Now, back to G.
Thank you, our counter. Now we move on to the next role player, which is the timer. Again, over to you, Toastmaster Satya.
Thank you, G, once again. As a timer, I noted down the speech time of all the speakers, particularly speaker 1, Fatima, 7 minutes, 7 seconds. Speaker 2, John Khalid, 7 minutes, 20 seconds. Then evaluator, Kaushan, 3 minutes, 2 seconds. Then we come to Kathy, 3 minutes, 03 seconds. In the table topics, all of you have done exceedingly well within the time limit of 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Within that time, you have completed your speeches. Kudos and best wishes to all of you. Back to the G.
Thank you, timer. All right, so I would like to give up my report for today. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, distinguished Toastmaster, so much. You started really well, sharp at 9, even though the house is still like half empty, but you started anyway. And it was really a great topic, like what I feel that is a great topic, which is about food. And you were talking about how we value the food and also the vibrations and the sense and all the 4 senses and which is relate to all of us. Thank you for that. And then we move on to the speeches, which is really relatable, which is about the VPE and the club from Fatima, and also from John, which is about fit and fat, which is also really close to us, all of us. And then we move on to the table topic again, a great relate to all of us, which is about food and the food that normal food that we also love to eat. And I like all the 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 speakers in the table topics. It is really good, and of course all are relatable to us and make us hungry. All the food make us hungry. And then we move on to the evaluation, which is great evaluation from both Kaushal as well as Kathy. There's a lot of also some jokes there that I I find it funny as well. Thank you for that. And above all, I think we are great. We are on time. And thank you to Sabaria too for giving me this chance, and also uh, to come, even though you just finished your other meetings and you look tired too. Now that it's 10 o'clock here, back here. Thank you so much. And I think that's all. I close my report now. Thank you. Back to Toastmaster of the Day and the President so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Luciano, for doing double role today, GE and Ramiran, and thank you so much to Satya as well for doing another double role, timer and Arconta. It was an interesting meeting. I think the World Food Day theme, it was great that it came in quite a number of times during the meeting today. I would like to end this meeting with a kind of thought-provoking thing that we have to kind of think about is, as was mentioned by the table topics master as well, and I think it was mentioned by one of our speakers in the table topics, Anvita as well, that we have to be mindful of the waste that unfortunately happens. Just to be mindful of that in terms of the unfortunate situation that is there in the world, the situation of hunger that is there in the world. And hopefully we all can do some small things in our own way to work on this huge challenge that the whole planet Earth is facing in terms of the difference between haves and have-nots. Especially in capitalistic society, it is seen quite a lot. But then it's a matter of understanding that everyone is inheriting this planet Earth. Everyone has got an equal kind of contribution to make towards this planet Earth, and everyone is unique in their own respect to contribute. So with that statement, I would like to conclude this meeting, and thank you so much for joining today. It has been a great pleasure to spend time with you all, this 54 minutes that we had together. Thank you so much, and I close this meeting. Have a great day.